How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Real Night. Today we're diving back into Dexter, season number 7, episode number 7. We're past that midpoint hump of the season. Things are going to start, heating up. Everything is very interconnected this season. All paths are converging, as they should, I guess, in the show. We have Sal Price, an author who's kind of getting close to Deb. He has a ton of information on not only Hannah, but the Bay Harbor Butcher, so that's a situation. Deb, that could push her closer to Sal faster because Sal seems to be the type to, he has all these facts, all these truths, and he is, somewhat willing to share them. That is now a stark contrast to Dexter, who she now knows is hiding a lot, is lying to her, giving her half-truths. Not only that, but we have Hannah and Dexter. If you listened to my closing thoughts last time, you know how I feel about that situation. I'm interested to see how that progresses and the direction that it goes. And of course, like Quinn and the Koshka Brotherhood, they've already dealt with killing a cop, so I don't know if they'll necessarily kill him or try to kill him, but they're definitely going to be holding a lot of this stuff over his head. I don't know if Nadia's going to make it. Let's roll it.
Chemistry.
So many Breaking Bad
some people have it.
thoughts that I'm getting.
Chemistry that can't
them.
be quantified or explained. Is that the reason behind this?
Pretty much exactly what I was talking about last time.
Why?
That was my question last time. I don't know why you didn't follow through. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I could take them breathing in my ear like this. Oh my gosh. Didn't sign up for ASMR.
I didn't plan to spend the whole evening talking about Hannah McKay.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Hannah McKay. What kind of music you like?
Oh, that's a nice little thing there. Talking about music and then having David's name come up.
I'm thinking about Hannah's husband. Maybe I could have the body examined. We could test it for acne.
Hannah's husband had a sister.
What was interesting when I was thinking about, that sort of mid-season essay that I did for the closing thoughts last time, I noticed that season 6 is really the only season where we didn't really explore relationships that much. Like, we had the deterioration of Quinn and Deb, but Dexter wasn't in a relationship. He wasn't looking for a relationship. He was still dealing with the fact that Lumen was gone. He's going back to his normal life, taking care of Harrison, or, trying to. I think they're really just hopping back into that heavily this season for pretty much all the characters. That's one of the aspects that they thought they need to improve on.
Just tell me something.
What?
You're not going to try and kill me again, right?
Think of it as a misunderstanding.
One way to put it?
Most lethal one-night stand ever.
Boy, did he pick the wrong car.
Seeing some of that narcissism and God complex coming in there, because if that guy was packing Dexter's flesh and blood just like everyone else, you can get shot.
You never really asked me why I kill people. Price. What do you want? To keep quiet?
You could always go on the record.
I was the last one to speak with Wayne Randall. I could tell you what his last words were.
There's a lot of stories that Dexter could tell him, honestly. I don't think he's going to forget this story, though.
Maybe we've been sidetracked by our feelings about Sergeant Oaks.
I think we've been objective.
Everything we've done, all the evidence, it still points to Sergeant Oaks. At some point, we have to face facts.
It's possible that we've been reaching for leads.
So should we rethink what we're doing here?
Maybe you're right.
Like I was saying, she needs to tread lightly because Maria, she might just start leaving her out of it,
This blood spatter points to a killer other than Wayne Randall. Did you miss this?
Deb, I didn't miss anything. I considered the same.
I mean, the guy is quick, too. You gotta give him that. He just introduced last episode, he's already mixing everything up. And Sal, he might tell Deb, honestly, about her brother and Hannah McKay.
You're covering for her.
Why would I want to do that?
To save her for your table.
You're wrong, Deb. If you want, I'll have the blood tested. Just say the word and we can spend the money.
I'll think about it.
Can't lie anymore, not as easily.
Isaac Circle's attorney's on his way. The evidence on Circle is gone.
Everything is crumbling around him.
How in the hell does the most crucial piece of evidence against Isaac Circo?
I mean, they can check the logs, too.
The Koshka Brotherhood has a mole inside Miami Metro.
A mole? You read too many spy novels.
I'm gonna go check the evidence room log. See who's been there in the last...
Yeah, exactly. There can't be too many people going in and out of there, you know?
They fucked up the sewage line to contaminate the crime scene.
Which means Circo will be free soon. And I'll have to kill him before he comes after me.
Need any more proof that there's a mole in it?
I think there's going to be more than just him coming after him, even if he does pass away.
They do not pay us enough for this.
Who's this new detective? Seems kind of random.
The list of visitors from the evidence lockup in the last 72 hours.
Fuck you insinuated.
You're dating a stripper that works at a club that's owned by the Koshka Brotherhood. You're no choir boy, but I know you wouldn't sink that low.
Do you know? Put his trust in the wrong guy. Wouldn't be the first time, though.
Dexter, if this case falls apart and Isaac walks, he could be on the street tonight. Stay the fuck away from him. I'm gonna put a tail on him 24/7 until his travel visa expires.
Can have somebody else do it. It's all right.
You all right?
It's good to see that his efforts aren't necessarily in vain so far.
I burned down every one of their fucking clubs before I let that happen.
Oh my God, Joey, did you promise them something to keep me here?
Honestly, like with his track record with Deb, yeah, he just dives headfirst in this stuff. So deep into all this already.
You're gonna be free.
Hasn't even been that long.
So you said this was about my brother, Jake?
We believe he may have been poisoned and that his wife was responsible.
Oh my God.
And did she and your brother get along?
Yeah, they seem to have a great relationship. Looks
And she's good at that.
in love, especially after they found out she was expecting.
Miss Kirkwood, I think we can find out for sure what happened to your brother.
That looks heavy. Need a hand?
I need you out of my life.
That can be arranged. All you have to do is talk to me.
Well, everything I have to say to you can be summed up in two.
Once they have a little bit of a history. Makes sense. He has been kind of stalking her.
Fine, we'll talk. Just keep Dexter out of this.
Depends on what you give me.
He's just playing all the angles.
4 p.m.
I'll come to your place. How's tomorrow night sound? 7 p.m.?
So after he talks to her.
Christy Lawson. Price for the book about her case. One of his bestsellers. Hannah needs to know what's going on. You're looking for an excuse to see her. You could just pick up the phone.
Like I was talking about that poison. It's in his bloodstream.
I want Nadia's passport. She's done with you.
It's not gonna happen, Joey. So you think real hard about your next move and what it means for your future.
Yeah.
And Nadia's.
Deal with the devil. Overestimated his hand.
What happened to our plan?
Sal Price happened. I can't let that happen. I'm gonna handle Price.
Like the way you handled me?
No. Sure he wants to, though.
You know, sometimes life just has to be taken. There's no need to dress it up.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. She's
Enjoy killing.
infecting him.
And you don't?
No.
This season is really showing how Dexter's control is really just an illusion. Like, we've had hints of it throughout each season, but like you're really seeing it here. Like, he feels like he's in control of all these things, but he is not at all.
Ever wonder what it would be like if you didn't have all these rules?
She isn't drawn to my darkness like Lila, or blind to it like Rita, and she doesn't need it like Lumen.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying last time.
The whole Dexter.
Good on them for, making that pretty clear.
Because when some chemicals mix, they combust and explode.
Yeah, it's like a Brian and a Dexter scenario where if he truly gives in to her, he will likely go on a rampage.
There's no tissue. Is that normal?
It is if the body wasn't embalmed.
Isn't that standard procedure?
Unless the next of kin specifies otherwise.
So Hannah didn't have him embalmed, huh? Covered her bases.
The body was more like a pile of bones. There was nothing to test.
Shit, it wasn't involved.
Yeah, and big surprise here, it was all at the discretion of Hannah. Lemonade?
I'll pass. Should we get started?
Honestly, he would be pretty easy to poison with all the stuff that he puts in his mouth.
I just need enough of Price's DNA to plant at a crime scene.
I want to take something else. I mean, the toothbrush is a little bit too obvious, I think. Especially an electric one like that.
Price's research on Hannah. If I get rid of it, it'll
Oh.
cripple his book. Maybe kill it.
You didn't come
Too
here to
obvious,
protect Hannah.
man.
You need to think about yourself right now.
And this is a struggle for Dexter, man. Wow. Well, now there's definitely evidence that he was there. And this is exactly what I was talking about 2 or 3 episodes ago. Talking about Wayne and why he wouldn't give her up. Dexter's going through the same thing, wanting to protect her. I guess she really just unlocks that in the men that are around her.
He just kept screaming and screaming. So I stabbed her.
I mean, she has immunity, so this admission doesn't really mean anything.
What do you want? Well, so long as I'm waiting around to kill you, I thought we might have a little chat.
Again with the straightforwardness.
And I will move heaven and earth to snuff out your life because you killed Victor. We have a cartoon in America about a coyote who chases after a roadrunner. Keeps thinking that. Keeps a rocket skating right off the cliff.
Meet.
I have a feeling you're a different kind of animal. What kind are you? The kind who hunted your friend down and crushed his skull with a fire extinguisher.
Still don't know their relationship, you know.
You're gonna regret sharing that with me.
You know, you're an interesting guy.
Yeah, you maybe want to send Harrison away again. If Jamie's back, I assume Harrison's back as well. Maybe not, though. Maybe she just came back early.
I have a story idea of my own. So new DNA evidence pops up in the unsolved murder of Christy Lawson.
Sounds like it's all bullshit.
Well, the anonymous tip is real enough. The one that mentions Sal Price.
He might just be giving him fuel for another book. He's still right in prison.
Can't have you messing with my life.
Fuck you!
Having a heart attack? Oh.
You're not gonna get away with it.
Exactly what I was talking about. Easy to poison. He didn't drink the lemonade. Must have been something he touched, like the pen. I think it was the pen. I don't think Deb is gonna think it was him, though.
I can't even have a drink with someone without them dying.
You had a drink with him?
Yeah.
Multiple.
He was nice, you know? I liked him.
I'm sorry, Deb. I wish I could tell you what happened.
I know what happened. Hannah McKay.
What makes you think that?
He was convinced that she stabbed one of the victims on this spree and that she kept on killing her husband.
I wonder where he put that recording.
But I'm gonna pick her up for questioning. I'm gonna run a talk screen on his body. And
He left just as abruptly as he came into the show.
Why isn't she concerned? Or is she just that good at hiding it?
Mrs. McKay, I'm Lieutenant Morgan.
Oh my God.
She is that good.
What happened?
Same reaction she had to Dexter's wife's death.
I was really hoping that we could cut through the crap. You're a killer, Miss McKay.
Oh my God.
You're a fucking good one. I'll give you that. You've gotten away with it for a long time.
That's crazy.
She's not acting. She is that good.
Am I done here?
Yeah, you're done. Trust me.
My grandma has this saying, trust those who seek the truth, but doubt those who say that they have found it. My grandma wasn't ever wrong.
Yeah, we don't know too much about her past. I was wondering, like, what brought her into that mental state that she was in when she was with Randall, when she ran away with him. You know, she said she gets attached very easily. So maybe her early life was spent, you know, without that attachment from her family, from her parents and stuff.
Price was going to destroy my life. I had to do something.
He died in my apartment.
Figured it would kick in while Price was on the road.
A convenient auto accident.
I wonder if he set it up like that, because after he got the time for their interview, he immediately set up Dexter's interview. So I wonder if he was kind of like making sure that if something did happen, that he would be in a situation where it would be investigated. It would be a smart move on his part.
Is it true about your husband? Did you kill him because he didn't want a family?
It's the opposite. I wanted a family and he didn't. He threatened to leave me unless I got an abortion.
See, I can't trust her, you know? Like, I think she could just be spinning this. She could just be trying to manipulate him here.
Sometimes life subtracts.
I don't trust her in the slightest. Anything she says. Oh, he's gonna give Angel the money. Solid. But it's dirty money, so I hope it pans out.
What's this?
For your restaurant.
It's 10 grand.
You know I got that inheritance a while back.
This is a loan, you asshole. I'm gonna pay you back.
I really hope it works out for Batista, but I hope they're not building this up to, like, kill him, you know? Like, oh, he's gonna get out, he's gonna be safe. And they're just gonna slaughter him at some point. I hope that's not the case.
This can't be right.
Yeah, me run it twice, negative both times.
Choose something else, huh?
Fucking bitch is gonna get away with it again.
Wayne was yelling for me to get her off him, so I grabbed her by the hair and I pulled her.
Oh, Deb has it.
Is this what love feels like? Is this how it begins?
Talk about how these characters just get so quickly infatuated. It's insane. Like all of them.
Hello?
Hannah McKay killed Sal Price. She's gonna walk.
And he's in bed with her
She's
right
gonna
now.
get away with it. And we both know she's gonna kill again.
Yeah, Deb is so isolated and alone now. She has been pretty much always, but now she knows it.
There has to be some fucking justice. It's you, Dexter.
He's always been,
Me?
You know what I'm saying? She deserves it. Do what you do.
And this is that Deb versus Hannah that I was talking about, kinda. Another look at the camera. We are really diving heavily into the relationships this season now. The second half, anyway. Which, again, as I was saying during the reaction, I think is kind of a bounce back from the previous season, where, like, we didn't really deal with relationships at all in the last season except for Quinn and Deb. And that was not a building of a relationship. It was a, coming to terms with the death of a relationship. As I was saying in the closing thoughts, I keep going back to that, because, I didn't expect to be like this this soon in the show. But yeah, Hannah has definitely, poisoned him. That analogy, her weapon is that victimhood, right? She's found a way to sort of weaponize it, use it to her advantage. It's successful. It works for her. So now Dexter is in an interesting situation, and Deb is alone again. She was just starting to kind of come out of her shell a little bit, get back into a life, and now Sal turns up dead. She's turning to Dexter, the person that she has known the longest, that she's trusted the longest, but the one that has betrayed her trust now, and that she's starting to see the true nature of. She's turning to him as like this last resort, which is a pretty huge deal for her character. Season 5, where she kind of like let the vigilantes go, she was still kind of like, I'm gonna have the cops here, you guys better be out of here. So for her to make this decision, everything, she's exhausted all of her options in a way, and she is turning to Dexter as the last resort to be like, take care of this woman. He is being blinded, and we're really seeing that side of Dexter come out this season. With his line earlier, it was like, everything is within my control, but it not at all. And we're really seeing that now in this season kind of come to the light of how little control Dexter really has in how he acts. He's really just reacting to things. He's not really, he's somewhat thinking about it, and maybe it has deteriorated his ability to like plan and think through things over these last few seasons. He's just gone through so much, not been caught, that he maybe is just getting like so sloppy with things, and not really thinking 2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead. He's really just thinking about the next step. I didn't see Harrison back, so I think Harrison's probably still in Orlando, which is good. But Jamie's back, and she just came back probably for this whole situation with Sal to take place so that there would be a witness. Still not super invested in this Hannah relationship. I get how huge it is, of a thing for Dexter. As he mentioned this episode, and as I mentioned the previous episode, he has never really had this specifically, somebody who sees him and accepts him just, right off the bat, somebody who understands him on this deep level. The closest we had gotten up until this point was Lumen, who just, who had accepted him, but was still, she lost that darkness, whereas Hannah still has the darkness clearly. The whole situation with Isaac, it just seems like it's tossed to the side, like the main killers of this season. There are many. There's not just one. Everything is so tangled, and I guess that makes sense for a season following season 6, where Deb finds out about Dexter. that was really the separating point, was like Deb, she is in the police department. That's the police department story. Dexter, okay, like he's in the police department story, but he's also doing his own thing on the side. Now that Deb knows everything is interconnected. So we have Hannah, you know, they're investigating her. Deb knows about her. Dexter already tried to take care of her. And we also have Isaac. Deb knows about Isaac. The department knows about Isaac. But also Dexter's dealing with Isaac as well. So everything is super interconnected this season. And, you know, I think it's building up to a very chaotic finale. There could be so many different ways that this goes. I really don't know if Dexter's going to be able to take Hannah out. She would have to probably do something to Deb. I think that would be the situation in which Dexter would be happy to take her out. It has to kind of be personal for him to really take action against a woman that he has found attraction for, grown, you know, close to and attached to. So I think it would have to come down to a moment where Hannah threatens Deb's safety in some way. But then again, it's like he's so infected now, seemingly. He's already so infatuated with Hannah that would he be blinded to a situation with Deb where he's like, why do I want to protect Deb, or why do I want to be there for Deb in a way, you know, when I have Hannah who understands me and accepts me for who I really am and will, you know, carry out all this stuff with me, right? And now that Harrison's out of his life, he's kind of living that old Dexter life again. And I can see a situation where he just leaves Harrison with the grandparents and just goes off with Hannah and does whatever two killers in love will do. The getaway.
Special herbs from my garden. It's my secret ingredient.
Yeah, special herbs, huh? She cannot be trusted. And he's just eating all the food. And I think they're highlighting that too, you know?
What was so special about Argentina?
Nice, happy, home.
My sister is also my lieutenant.
Yeah.
Your sister is the lieutenant.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. I need to find some way to get her out of Deborah's head.
It's gonna send Deborah down a even more stressful path. She finds out about Dexter and Hannah.
Do you want coffee?
There's going to be even more of a falling out. Especially with how she secretly feels about him. I don't know if she still has those feelings, but...
What you said last night, you didn't mean it.
Yeah, Dex, I meant it. She's killed 3 people that we know of. Price had a tissue sample.
I'm not killing Hannah McKay.
Poor Deb. Even this last resort.
How hard it was for me to ask you that?
It's being thrown in her face.
You're all I have left.
But you don't have him. Hannah does.
This isn't who you are. Deb, I care about you too much.
She said that herself, you know?
You're gonna regret.
I don't think she'd regret that, though. Was that Isaac? Didn't really look like him. I don't think it was. I think he's just getting the tails off him. Yeah.
Excellent.
The haircut was a little bit different. It was kind of buzzed on the sides.
This isn't about Dexter Morgan again, is it? You're not thinking straight here. He works for Miami Metro. We take out one more of theirs, they shut this place down for good.
It's so personal for him. And it doesn't seem like George knows why either.
I'm not gonna stop seeing Hannah just because she's a murderer and my sister wants to kill her. Do you hear how that sounds?
What kind of dumb luck is that?
Looks like while you were playing house with Hannah, Isaac found a way to shake the police, which likely means he'll come after you again.
Well, if you can get past Miami Metro homicide, so can I.
Grandpa has to go into surgery. Grandma says we have to stay with you in Miami.
What?
Oh, Esther and Cody and them? Oh, no. Oh.
Grandpa has to have surgery, but I need to send Jamie to Orlando.
This is truly an episode 8. Everything is converging and going wrong.
Just be careful, okay?
And this is
Just
killing
one
me.
other thing. I got a call from the kid's grandmother.
Harrison okay?
Yeah, he's fine, but Bill has
Well, they can stay with Deb, I guess, but...
Laura wants me to watch Harrison and Astor and Cody for a few days.
Now is not a good time.
Any ideas?
Yeah, they can stay at my place.
She thinks that they're in this together. It's so sad to see.
Just because you're not gonna do what you do
doesn't mean she gets to live happily fucking ever after.
Call me Papa.
No, I will not do that, but I will stop by for a drink later.
Dex, you in? It's a family place. Call me Papa.
I'm really happy for you.
1 cubic.
It's a nice little moment between them. They do have quite the history.
Let me get back to you.
You knew exactly what you were doing then. You're in over your head now.
I'm sorry.
You haven't even begun to be sorry.
Yeah, I was expecting a Deb versus Hannah scenario, but I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily panning out how I would have thought it would go.
A coup here, but I feel like something has to be done.
Try to cut Isaac out. I mean, he might have just sealed his own fate. Even if Isaac does get cut out, doesn't mean he won't want revenge, just like he wants revenge on Dexter.
You want to stick around?
I got a bed right there. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah, I tried, man.
What?
What I do have is some cash. If you do one more job for me.
So is one more.
We just made a quick pit stop. I warned Cody about the big gulp, but we're about 3 hours out depending on traffic.
Great. What?
So yeah, like I'm wondering about Isaac. Were they like more than family? Were they something other than family?
Since willingly consumed since he got to Orlando.
Man, Harrison looks so old now.
Cody, we don't want to have to stop again. But I'm thirsty.
They all look so old. That's crazy. I mean, time does pass.
Simply incredible.
Aster and Cody, I don't really think they need much watching. They are pretty old now. Cody's 12, and I think Aster, I mean, that would probably make Aster like, what, 14, 15?
Who the hell are you?
I'm a building super.
You're not the super.
Sure I am. Who are you?
I'm the Avon lady.
The Avon
That's just silly.
Avon calling.
You're here for the same reason I am. I don't know who sent you here.
What is happening?
Just on halvesies.
Yeah, this is a complication. Who is this? Oh, it must be George's...
Dexter Morgan. This guy had a slip.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Man, Maria. Yeah, everything is crumbling around him.
God, Cody, can we not get through one dinner without you doing something completely disgusting? You can't even make it through a weekend without smoking pot.
It's always against the law for someone your age. Which is for your own good, by the way.
Dexter's right. Sometimes the things that seem like a good idea in the moment are the things you'll end up regretting later.
Dexter.
Maybe you were right about Hannah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If anyone deserves what you do, she does. But it must have been hard to resist, and I know you did it for me. So.
Not at all.
Thanks for caring.
I feel so sorry for Deb.
You don't have to thank me.
She's so alone.
What brings you by? Or is this your version of a booty call?
What's a booty call?
Seriously?
Yeah, that's my thought exactly. What? How do you not know what that is?
So what's got you so busy?
What is this
You're
like?
not kidding.
Bossa Nova in the background.
Well, still, it seems like you have a system and it's working for you, right? Try the same thing on this guy, figure out who he is and why he really wants to kill you. Here,
I'm surprised that he needed her to tell him that, though.
take my van. You might know your car.
He's so flustered this season. It's like he can't think. I guess that's what infatuation will do to you.
I've never been able to talk to anyone about my kills before.
Maybe I can show you what a booty call is.
I'm still surprised you didn't know what that is. I mean, it's in the name. Like, how many more hints do you need?
Not that bad. I only have to work for George for 2 more years, and then I'll have my freedom.
It's good to see that, you know, so far, at least she's still alive.
Let me skip to the good part.
You give me your fucking passport.
It was a smart move. It was a smart move.
Now do we understand each other? I got the Kashka Brotherhood. Who's gonna save your ass? Miami Metro?
It's the issue with being a traitor. This guy's being true to who he works for, who he's with, who he's loyal to, but when you're a traitor, when the chips are down, you're not gonna have anybody covering your back. It's kind of like that same vibe that I kind of get from Hannah. I assume she's probably being honest to a certain extent with Dexter, but...
We're gonna need another place to stay.
Who do you think killed him?
I'm surprised nobody called the cops for the gunshot.
Why don't you go and give our friends downstairs a call?
Like, it's an apartment building. I would assume people would have definitely heard the gunshot.
Dex, what have you got?
Yes, please, Dex. Tell us your theory. I'm so curious.
Well, knife.
My. You couldn't have described that better if you'd been there yourself.
There's no place I actually belong. If my grandparents find out about the pot, they'll think I'm just turning into my dad or something.
You know, when I was younger, someone told me who I was. If I'd taken the time to decide for myself, it would have turned out different.
Different how? For the record, it didn't turn out so bad.
Little does she know.
For the record, the pot will stay off the record. Hey, Hannah.
Tell me where you are and I'll swing by.
Hobie Beach, Tower 1.
Getting too close to his personal life.
Yeah, that little guy is my son. I'm sorry, I should have told you.
Well, it's seemingly what she wanted, so it's probably good news for her.
Well, I'd love to meet them sometime.
Getting too close. She can't get close, you know? Because Deb is an issue for that. I think it's what she's always wanted, seemingly. Like, it's what she always, like, talks about, fantasizes about.
Shit, I just figured it wasn't really on the cards for me.
That's what I used to think, too.
They can never, like, part ways without, like, that little, like, oh, you know, we can't split up. New relationship vibes.
Finally. Dexter, you did not tell me that bedtime is like this 2-hour process. Teenagers are great, though. You just tell them what to do. I mean, my house never looks so clean. I love families.
And Deb,
does Hannah fit into my family somewhere?
Deb and Hannah. No. Not with Deb in the picture.
What's that doing here?
He's slipping up so much this season.
I was going to...
Oh my God. I am the biggest asshole on the planet.
No, that's Dexter.
All that bullshit about you. Are you in love with her?
It's too early to say that. He's definitely infatuated, that's for sure.
What do you all do? Do you sit around and talk about who you're going to take out next?
Kinda. But yeah, it's that understanding. And I'm sure Deb could see that too. If she, had some time away from this to kind of like settle all her emotions. She keeps trying to build him back up in her mind. And then he just, slashes that.
I'm not asking your permission, Deb.
So you don't care what it does to me?
You told me you accepted me being a killer. I feel like if you love me, you'll accept this.
If I love you, I went to the church that night that you killed Travis Marshall to tell you that I'm in love with you.
Ooh, there it is. At this stage, though,
you're in love with me.
It'll definitely help him understand why she feels the way she does about him and Hannah.
I know it's weird and it's gross and it's fucked up, but... Are you gonna say anything?
Yeah, he needs some time to process. He has not been thinking very well this season.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, God, you never do. Will you please just go? I can't look at you.
What are you gonna do? Just keep following Isaac around all night?
I wonder what Harry thinks about this.
What am I supposed to do? I can't feel what Deb wants me to feel.
Calm down.
Well, you know what I do to calm myself.
What a pleasant surprise.
We both know you can't kill me here.
I can, but I won't.
Yeah, he has very little to lose now.
Unlike most places on the planet, everyone's welcome here.
Okay.
So you thought your enemies wouldn't follow you into a gay bar?
That's what Victor was to him. So Moy, I think, is Mai. And I know somebody left a comment that Veach was like Victor, so my Victor makes sense. It was either family or this.
What did you do to the man who murdered your spouse?
Nothing I wouldn't do 1,000 times over again.
Did it help?
She's still dead.
He didn't even know at the time.
That's how love is. It's a powerful weapon.
can work for us or against us, can't it? Nothing to...
Yeah, that has been his piece since the beginning.
I suppose the heart knows something that we just don't know.
I guess love is the theme of this season, really. We've gotten so much to do with relationships and stuff, as I was mentioning before.
We're outsiders, you and I. On the periphery. Watching everybody else. Pretending we're just like them, but knowing we're not. Best we can hope for is to find a place where we don't have to pretend.
I like that their dynamic, you know, they're so open with one another. They can just like talk to each other like straight up, you know?
Everyone wants an Argentina.
Isaac, I'm at the airport to Miami. I'll be home soon.
It's kind of like Dexter. I think when Rita...
The moon tonight is going to be amazing. So take a moment. You deserve it. We love you. Bye.
No matter where we go, we take ourselves and our damage with us. So is home the place we run to, or is it the place we run from?
Is Deb about to take a hit? No, I feel for Deb for sure. She just keeps trying to like build Dexter up and forgive him, try to believe him, but he just keeps leaving her for Hannah. Which I mean, like, I'm not saying that he should be with Deb or anything like that, but like, I don't know. Dexter's just gotten so infatuated so quickly.
Because we can finally be who we are.
But this concept is very intoxicating. Somebody he can be himself with. And I said it with Lila back in season 2. Something he's never had. Yeah, we're definitely touching heavily on relationships. That twist with Isaac, it definitely makes sense why he would be so dead set on finishing this with Dexter. As I mentioned during the reaction, I really do enjoy the fact that they are just so like straight up with one another, you know, from the start. You know, they were like, you know, I'm going to kill you. And they just haven't had the opportunity. Things have not aligned for either one of them to take the other out. And it's only episode 8, so I'm assuming, you know, I can see a scenario where maybe Isaac gets taken out, kind of like a Miguel, maybe episode 11, episode 10. And then the final kill is going to be in the last episode. I don't even know if it's going to be Hannah, you know? I don't know if she's going to die. I don't know if Dexter's going to kill her. It would have to come down to a situation where it's like Deb is going to take Hannah out, be it getting her arrested or, you know, literally just attacking her. Or Deb could just like back off completely now that she knows about Hannah. But still, I just hate to see Deb like this, and I'm really not liking the choice that Dexter made here. And I get it though, the person who can understand him choosing her over Deb, but I feel like he owes Deb an amount of loyalty, you know, because she has been there for him. He found out this episode, you know, that she loves him in a certain way, but like still, he's so thoughtless this season. It seems like he just can't think straight with Hannah in his life. I would just love a scenario where, you know, Dexter and Deb are working together. We kind of got a hint of that when she was like, you know, kill Hannah, you know, I've exhausted all my options, take her out. But we're just not going to get that, it seems like. And I don't know where this is leading, because LaGuerta now knows. As we saw in that last scene, she's now hot on Dexter's trail. This could lead to a scenario where it is like an Argentina type of deal, you know, where Dexter kind of has to leave and is forced to try to escape. And then Deb is going to be left alone yet again. I mean, she already is alone to a certain extent. He cares to the extent that I guess he can care, but I don't know. He just seems like he wants to offload Deb in a way this season. Like he just wants her to stay to the side and just not have to worry about her at all, right? And I get that mentality, but it's just like in previous seasons we've seen him, even if he was being fake about it to a certain extent, he was there for her and was trying to help her the best that he could. But this season he's not. You know, it's just not there. And that might just be me, my nostalgia for them. Good news is that Angel has the restaurant. I hope he hires like a manager or something that has experience in the restaurant game so that, you know, things pan out for him. I wish the best for him. And I'm glad we had that tiny little moment between him and Maria where she's like, you know, I'm happy for you. We didn't really need too much. That was like kind of the right amount that we really needed from that scenario. Just like that acknowledgement of like, they have this history, they have this past, and she's happy to see him succeed and to see him happy and, you know, in a good mood. Something that she can't necessarily really share with him right now because she is finding all this stuff out about the past, about Dexter. And Dexter is so lucky to have Deb. It just brings me back around to that. Everything in this season is just so interconnected, but like Deb trying to run point for him, trying to make sure that nobody catches him, trying to ensure that nothing happens to him that's negative. Yes, she has the motivation of, you know, her own self-preservation, because if Dexter gets caught up in all this and the right questions are asked, then Deb is going to be pulled into this as well. She's doing so much for him, trying to sacrifice so much, and he's not there. His mind is elsewhere. And I don't know. We'll see how the season continues.